Intro music, intro music.
We're live. We're live, everybody. We're live. Professor R2, hello, Prof.
Hello.
Está for boss. Hello, mate.
Cheers. Good to see everybody. It's been 10 minutes.
It has. Oh, look who it is, everybody. Z3PO. Hello. Z.
Hello.
You all right? You
Not
all right?
bad. I've also got you playing on YouTube, so it's echoing in my headphones.
Oh, I hate that. You know when you get that delay?
It was like being in Vietnam. I wasn't really sure what was
You
going
don't know,
on.
man. You wasn't there. Great to have you on, mate.
Always a pleasure.
Ian. Hello, Ian.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
And look who it is, everybody. Price of Reason.
Hey, what's up?
Sky. You're right, Price.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Shall we get on with it?
Yep.
Chat, we can see you. 31 of the coolest kids on YouTube are here right now. Listening to this shite. Okay, here we go. So, this... Who saw this? Dr. Watts.
Dr. Watts. No, I didn't watch it. I'm not watching this rubbish.
Nor am I.
I watched
I saw
it,
clips online.
So have I.
I watched bits and pieces of this last episode. That was it.
I watched some reviews about it. I think I got enough to get the picture, but yeah, I'm not going to watch the whole thing.
So, who was it then? Prof, did you say?
Yeah, I watched some bits and pieces of the episode.
Oh, so it's only me, isn't it?
No, Price watched all of it.
Oh, Price. Go on, Price. We kind of discussed it yesterday on Sci-Fi Chronicles, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I watched this crap.
I've seen clips. I've seen a bit where Jodie turns up and says, "You're beautiful." And what is it? You were the one that he says he's looking at
You're
the old
so
doctors. I'm the
handsome.
best. Yeah.
I'm the best male doctor.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. Here we go.
Bollocks. Eh?
We'll just tell you what. We'll just work through the slides, yeah. Okay, here we go. I was the best doctor. No, I was the best doctor. Ugh. These two are the worst of the worst.
They're
Jodie.
equally the worst doctors.
Yeah.
Look at
And
that,
they're not
everybody.
doctors at all, so it's fine.
God,
There you
so
go.
reaffirming, isn't it? It's sadness.
I was watching.
You're the
Global-
best. You're handsome. You're beautiful.
Oh, you're brilliant.
No, you are.
Oh,
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you are.
Well, it goes back. If you have to say you're the one in power, then you're not in power.
Yeah.
And I was Verbal Riot just said because he's a black guy, and he said, so they finally make a black guy the doctor, and they make him some ridiculous flaming. He said it was very offensive to his community.
Although Jodie was pretty good in this scene, considering how bad she was on her run.
Because she didn't seem to... She acted more naturally like herself. I feel like she wasn't trying to overact. They just brought her in here. She had a few things to say and she left. She was probably more pleasant here, her vibe, than anything we've ever seen before.
Yes.
I still don't think she's the doctor, and I don't like her in the role, but she didn't come off as annoying as she usually does. It seemed like she was more just chill.
Yeah, because she wasn't under any pressure, and she is a decent actress. I've seen in all of her other stuff.
Yeah,
she's great. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, she's good if you have like a family drama and you need some like serious, like, you know, dramatic things happening. I think she could do fine. This is a role that you need somebody that can balance between drama and comedy and quirkiness, and she really doesn't have any of that. And it's nothing personal. What?
Have you not seen Attack the Block? She's absolutely great in that.
I don't know. All I know is that she doesn't fit this role. Sometimes you have somebody that's a good actor and maybe could do a lot of different roles. She's not right for this one. The Doctor, it's a very specific
Can I
role.
push back on that?
Okay.
What I saw yesterday with her 2 minutes of just enjoying herself, if she'd have played the Doctor like that and some decent, proper
Writing.
Doctor Who stuff, it might have been okay. If it had been quality scripts, I think If it's good, they will come. Yeah? What do you reckon, Z?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it doesn't matter who was playing the 13th Doctor. They still had Chibnall's bullshit scripts to work with.
Yep.
Yes.
Judi Dench herself could have played the Doctor. It wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. They would have never let her play the Doctor this way because it's all up to the showrunners.
I mean, I think that in Broadchurch, which was more of a drama, I thought that she was good in that. The mother with the affair and the tears, I thought that all of that was fine. She was 100% fine in that. I didn't see Attack the Block. I don't have any kind of reference. I haven't seen her in anything that's more comedic. I'll just say that in that thing, she could do drama, but she didn't convince me that she was the Doctor, and she was certainly trying too hard in her episodes that were already poorly written to begin with.
Well, when you think about what the Doctor is, a millennial old Time Lord, master of space and time, who the things that they've seen and done, it takes a special kind of actor to be able to pull that off.
It is. I mean, Matt Smith especially, you could actually see all the other Doctors that came before him in his eyes. He was so good.
He was. Over the years, I only appreciate Matt Smith more. Capaldi, I thought, was pretty good as well. Tennant, is kind of he's burned his own legacy. Now I see him and I kind of get annoyed.
He has.
Eccleston was good.
I can't watch David Tennant in anything anymore, though. Now,
no, it's the Jake Skywalker effect, isn't it?
Yep.
Mark Hamill retroactively has spoiled the Star Wars trilogy and absolutely ruined a hero.
Yeah,
that's true.
Very true.
It's too bad Eccleston didn't get more seasons. I actually really enjoyed him.
Bob Smith, 9866. Matt Smith was the best since Baker.
I'm partial to Christopher Eccleston, and I wish he did more. But he said as long as Russell T Davies is involved in the show, I won't come back.
Is that why he left then?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the same. Even though the scripts were better.
Yeah, there's a well-known bit with him at a con. People asked him if he would come back, and he's like, "Fire this person, fire this person, fire this person, fire." Like all the people who were in charge of the BBC and the people who were the showrunners, get rid of all of them. And then
it's too late for him to come back anyway. He's too old. It's too late for him to come back. He looks really old now. So unless they do some CGI on his face, then
they can fix it in post. Romeo Tango November Zulu Wrench Will Spot $5 New Zealand dollars. Can't believe you want to talk about this shit. Even to complain. Just let it go.
It's current media. That's what we talk about.
Who has been dead for years? It's just the corpse. It's not that good, mate. Barely twitching.
The thing is, the thing that actually makes me cringe is that it's obvious. I mean, I haven't seen the whole episode, but I've seen clips on YouTube, especially this scene. It's obvious. Again, what they're doing is sticking the finger up to the fans, literally telling us that to tell us to fuck off. It's true. Yeah. This crap about you're beautiful, you're the best version, and all that nonsense. They're literally saying fuck off to all of us. And do you know what? They can fuck off too. Do you know what I mean? So
you can keep it.
Yeah, when Shooty was kind of halfway regenerating, he woke up and he was lying on grass. And at that point, we thought, they're fucking trolling us now. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Hence, we've got the grass back.
It doesn't matter. It was shit anyway. You know, these two seasons were shit. I mean, the Jodie era was shit, and this one is. As I said, I've only saw the Christmas special. I knew he doesn't work. I don't like people that say that Shooty is right for the Doctor. They can all fuck off too. There's no way
from the hip, everybody.
There's no way that this guy was right for Doctor Who. No way. And no matter what they did, everyone can tell now that he's shit and he can't act. So, fuck them all. That's all I can say. I'm not watching anything that comes after this.
Romeo Tango November Zulu Wrench Will Spot. Great to see those reading lessons are paying off, Brown. You nearly got through half of that. Well done. Thank you, my friend.
Well, you have to
Yeah, go on.
Gonzi. No, Gonzi.
Well, I don't understand how you trouble with English when you're speaking Spanish as well. What's going on?
Part of the woke philosophy is to elevate and celebrate the mediocre. It's the participation trophy generation. So someone like the Doctor that's truly exceptional, they have to portray them by bringing him down to the level of every other twat.
And
they no longer allowed to show exceptional people.
No, because it's the ugly ones and the normal people and the get offended.
Not even Star Wars has gone as bad as Doctor Who. At least Star Wars didn't put in their show and saying things to tell
incels and stuff like that. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Okay, let's sidestep. Gary has been very animated about this. Cheers. Hashtag rest in peace, Doctor Who. What do you reckon, boys?
I give her a 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't care.
That wasn't the main
oh no. How rude of me. Yes, go on, Price.
I was just saying that that Jodie Whittaker wasn't the main issue with that stupid episode. She didn't help it any, but she wasn't the main issue.
Genuinely, I quite liked her appearance. Yeah, it was cute. Or was it?
It's the only situation ever that she's going to feel not as annoying as she was before. Like standing next to Shooty, you suddenly think to yourself, "Oh, maybe she's not so bad." And that's the only time you'll ever feel that way with her being the Doctor. That's the only moment that you'll ever feel that way.
Here you go, bit of a scoop. Titan wrenched. Oh, my friend. By the way, the regeneration was shot very recently in February, so a lot of second half of this episode was filmed very, very late. Billy might have been chosen only a couple of weeks ago.
She was.
Yep.
She was.
There were a few places that was rumored that she was going to be.
They according to my contact, they asked that woman. She played the TARDIS in the Matt Smith version. They asked her if she wanted to do it, and she said absolutely not. And
really,
yeah. And so I don't know what kind of deal they struck with Billie Piper. But my guess, and everybody else is guessing this as well, is that she is not coming back to play the Doctor.
No, I don't think she is either, because in the end credits, it was introducing Billie Piper, but it wasn't as the Doctor.
Didn't say as the Doctor. Yeah.
No, so, what's going to happen is that they're going to find a way to do... This is my theory. Disney still have 4 episodes that they're supposed to produce. I don't know if they'll go through it with it or they'll pay a penalty and BBC will do it. But let's just say these are 4 specials of sorts. Bringing back Billie Piper, RTD can now take David Tennant and her and do 4 episodes, a 4-episode special run, trying to once again bring fans back and doing like a bait and switch. I wouldn't put it beside him. If that's what ends up happening, I wouldn't put it beside him.
Aren't they
going to
eat
up? Regeneration into a new Doctor, or the show will just be put to rest and we'll never see any kind of continuation to this.
I thought they were eating up the rest of that contract with the war between the land and sea unit short series.
I thought so. But apparently, there's too many episodes. There's still 4 episodes in the air, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
No, they've sucked it up with the War of Air and Sea, where it's called. So basically, they don't have any. Yeah. So basically, if they bring back Doctor Who for a special, it will be on the BBC's payroll. So it'll just be BBC paying for it. So in other words, right, what they've done now is, because now Disney is done with Doctor Who. I heard that they dismantled the TARDIS set, so that's gone. So if they do bring it back, it'll have to be quite low budget, because
that was a nice set.
But if they bring it back, will it be wheelchair accessible?
I don't know, but you know what, right? I agree with Z. She's not going to be the Doctor. She's going to I mean, I think Dave Cullen was saying that in a previous episode, all her energy went into the TARDIS console. That was the one with Chris Eccleston. So maybe some of that was left and regenerated Shooty or whatever and changed into Billy Piper's character.
It's going to be Bad Wolf.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's either going to be Bad Wolf, the moment, or it's going to be the Valyard.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who bloody
Okay,
cares?
let's move on. Okay, lots of this then. Price of Reason. I liked Billy Piper, but she's not the Doctor.
No,
FKU Russell T. Davis. Hashtag rest in peace, Doctor. What?
Yes, I did say that.
You did, yes.
There's nothing they can do to bring me. Look, the only way I'm going to come back is if they come back and they retcon the retcon. That's the only way.
Well, they've probably got 4 episodes to do it then.
Well, who's going to be directing? Who's going to be producing?
I heard a rumor that you're doing it. That you're
I'd love to do it. Yeah, I'd love to do it and sell out.
Yes.
Just get all the money so I can make stuff of my own. That'd be
I hope they never make this. You know, it'll be funny if they just leave it on this stupid thing and we never see it again. Or at least like 5-10 years, we won't hear about it. Somebody will come back, retcon the retcon, like you said, and we never think about this again. That's the ideal scenario.
Yeah, it is.
Price, how do you keep an idiot in suspense?
I'll tell you later.
Touche, Price. Touche.
Okay, so that was Price, and then Heels v Babyface. I think he got his keyboard stuck.
Have you noticed that when Shooty changed into Billy Piper, there wasn't a morphing of the face as they normally have. It just went
there was
bright
a
red.
gap, a gap.
Yeah, and then suddenly she was there. So that tells us that they did bring her in at the last.
They filmed it
awful,
without having someone to change into.
It looked awful.
They also just race swapped a black man into a white person. I didn't.
But
think
she's
that
a
was
woman.
legal.
She's a woman. She's still part of the Victim Olympics. You just can't go back to the Doctor ever being a white man again.
Yeah, but I thought Cynthia Erivo would have been the only acceptable choice.
Who knows?
Perfect
Early doors.
woke. Yeah, perfect woke.
Oh my God!
I wonder.
Can you imagine her?
Sorry.
No, I'm done.
I wonder if the fact that it's like the crappiest $2 fade out, like between Shooty and Billy Piper, I wonder if that's because they just filmed it like 5 minutes ago and they had no choice, or it's like we're all thinking it's not the same character. Regardless, though, I don't really understand. Even if it's not the same character, shouldn't they have done a morphing?
I think they were going to leave it blank. If that had have happened where it didn't morph into another person, that would have been the end of it. But this is the way of saving it temporarily. Yeah.
The thing is, though, they could really have their cake and eat it if they respected the fans. You know, DEI, they think DEI is really important and diversity is really important. And I agree with the diversity thing, but it has to be done properly. I keep saying this. Yep. To do what they're doing is racist. It really is.
Yes.
It really is,
yes.
right?
But
if they don't get it, they just don't get it.
They don't.
Well, here's the problem, Ian. Though, if they go back, if they abandon all of the ideologies and all the stuff, so that they can get this show to be successful and make money again, they're traitors. They will be canceled by all the people that they're trying to get support from. They'll be hated. They'll be outcast by those communities. They cannot do it. There is only one option. That is, can this show put it away for 5 or 10 years and let someone else come back and make it? That's the only option. The people who are writing it now cannot go back on the changes that they have made.
If they went back, they'd be admitting that they made a mistake. And
exactly.
That is not going to happen ever.
No, they're just going to keep doubling down.
And until it's, until they have no choice but to just can it and walk away for a while.
Yeah.
And I've also mentioned this. I almost feel like very late in the game, like you were also saying, Ian, that he couldn't even find somebody to film this scene.
No.
And then he probably called Billie Piper. And one of the reasons that she came on board to do this is because she owes him. He just said, listen, I need something here. We don't even know what's going to happen with this show. Let's do this regeneration thing. You know, if it works well, you can come back for a special with David Tennant. It'll be something cool, like an event. Maybe they cut her some kind of check to do this. She comes in, she films this stupid scene. Maybe it gets canceled. Maybe it doesn't. She did him the favor. That's what it seemed like today. Like somebody calling in a favor. That's what this looked like.
Yeah.
Very last minute. They
Very
did
much so.
the
I
editing here.
didn't even think he had her in mind until
He'll have opened his little
well
book
afterwards.
up. He'll have opened his little book up and see who's about.
Shooting.
He came up with this
her
yesterday,
were
and that's why it looks
separate
like I edited it. Because like when I use one of those editing softwares, I would do a fade. This is what I would do, like a fade in, like a crossfade. That's what I mean. It looks like a crossfade.
Well, like a Kathleen Kennedy fade in. Moving on.
It's like a crossfade. It's like the like when you go into Premiere and there's just like the most generic transition, video transition, and it's like a crossfade. That's what this looks like. It is the cheapest possible regeneration. This makes like those older ones, those like Tom Baker to Davison one.
Like
it makes that look like high end compared to this.
I mean, hell, I can do a morph transition using DaVinci Resolve. It's just drag and drop.
True. You know what? They could have just done a morph. They didn't even do that. It looks so awful.
They could have used a VO3, and I have to say, man, that's the latest Google AI video engine. It's pretty impressive. It's not quite there. Still has that weird feeling to it, but
okay,
give it a couple months.
It always will.
Yeah, we've got some supers. I'm going to try and read properly. Romeo, Tango, November, Zulu, Wrenched, World of Sport, $5 New Zealand dollars. Chuck Norris simply walks into Mordor. Chuck Norris could throw the One Ring into the fires of Mount Doom while he was standing in the Shire. I nearly got that. Still standing in the Shire. Thank you, my friend. M. Duke 84 wrenched World Sport 5 boons. Shooty came between two women. Did he? I guarantee that's never happened before.
And never again.
You see, the reason why he's actually turned into a woman again is because, again, my friend overheard something in the canteen when two execs were talking.
What?
And they were measuring between the Jodie era and Shooty era, and one of them said it's got to be a woman because the ratings are better when the Doctor was a woman than he was a man. So that's the reason why they got a woman. Because
well, they forgot about the.
No, go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say it doesn't sound like they were measuring from the base.
No, they weren't. But it's just stupid, isn't it?
Okay.
And sorry, just to finish off, my friend said you can guess what kind of guys we're talking there. Do you know what I mean? You can guess their sexuality. So there you go. So there you go.
Okay, let's move on.
What else you say?
Okay, Nerdrotic again. Yeah, Gary's been really animated with this. Congratulations to the BBC, Disney and Russell T Davies on your flawless victory. You lost more viewers and money than we could possibly imagine. Hashtag.
They don't care. They don't care. They don't give a shit.
It's not their money.
Really exactly.
They're still getting paid.
You know, people don't realize Doctor Who, the show, actually, it created fandom. It wasn't Star Trek. It was Doctor Who that was the first show where people started going to conventions and dressing up in costumes. We have fans of this property that have been fans for over 60 years.
Look at Ian. He's been a fan for 200 years.
Not quite that old, but you know, it still means something to people, and the way they've been treating it lately is just so obscene.
You're absolutely right. It does, right? Again, right. I keep saying that Star Wars, Doctor Who, and Star Trek, they mean more to people than you can possibly imagine. They really do. I know people that would die if Doctor Who didn't exist. I know people that would die if Star Wars.
Oh, is it saving lives then?
They just don't realize, the people that own these IPs, they don't realize the damage that they're doing by destroying these IPs.
Yeah,
they really don't. It really does. It breaks my heart that Doctor Who's ended up.
How many stories have you heard from people like Patrick Stewart or Jonathan Frakes saying, or people have come up to them in conventions and said, Star Trek got me through a very, very dark time in my life, and it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being a Doctor Who fan when Tom Baker was around and getting picked on at school because I liked Doctor Who. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, though, Doctor Who taught me that to not be part of the herd, right, is something good. To be a standout is something good, because the Doctor wasn't human, was he? He was an alien. So that's the thing, and he stood out. He was weird, and he stood out. So, it gave you permission to be weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no other place that a character actor, a C-list character actor, can be on a couple shows and make a decent living their entire life by just going on the convention circuit.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Yeah. When you're looking at these types of properties, you're looking at these people with these ideologies, Ian. The thing is, they don't care who else they hurt. They do not care. They have one singular goal, that is to co-opt anything they can to forward their ideologies. And if they destroy that property, they don't care, because if it's not pushing their ideology forward, it might as well be dead. So they will either co-opt it for their purposes, or it will die, and they're happy either way.
When is the Doctor become a boat person? That'll be the next thing.
Yeah. It's seriously.
Sorry, folks.
They've really destroyed this, seriously, and there's no coming back from this now unless you retcon the retcon.
I genuinely can't wait to hear what Gary says about this. I'll be watching Monday.
No, I won't be on, because I think he's going to do the Hoovering thing that I was on a couple of years ago, but I haven't watched any of the episodes, so I probably won't go on that one, because there's nothing I can say really, because I haven't watched it. So
do you ever get invites from Gary of when the Doctor Who stuff?
A couple of years ago I did. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Me and Dan were on.
Yeah. Okay. Don't know what. Oh, I know what's next. It's a sidestep. Okay. 2.1 million overnight for the finale. We're still getting the consolidated numbers for episode 7. So, is that 300,000 more watched than last week?
Actually, that's 40,000. No, 40,000, not or 400,000.
400. It's about 400.
Yeah. It's basically that, but it's still
500,000 down from his first episode, Space Babies.
Yep. Yeah, and that's 8 million down from Jodie Whittaker's last episode.
Wow.
Nobody is watching this thing.
You see, the BBC won't admit that they need to cancel this now. They won't admit it. They won't even have anything in any kind of magazine saying they've cancelled it. But I reckon they've cancelled it.
I still think that they're going to let this play out a few episodes with Tennant and Piper. Even if the BBC has to foot the bill for it, they'll do 3 episodes or something, and they'll just say that this is they're shelving it for a while. Doctor Who is going to go on a break, but they want to go out. They'll try to make it a big event, hoping that a few people actually turn up to watch it for the nostalgia.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they've cancelled it but they're not gonna say they've cancelled it. And I'd be pretty surprised if they did a Christmas special or any kind of special going forward, because the BBC is really low on money at the moment, and they're reserving their money for the dramas that are quite successful, like Ludwig and that was it
I
police
hope you're
drama
right.
and stuff.
They're
like
not
that.
low on money. They're just wasting what they've got.
No, but a lot of people are not.
Money.
Yeah, but Ian, a lot of people are not paying for their license. A lot of people have actually come out.
Yeah.
There's
I hear what you're saying.
millions of people.
Issue.
Yes,
I mean the classic Doctor Who was on a shoestring budget. It relied on its story content and its characters.
Yes. Yeah, but you can't
how
go
much
backwards.
budget it has.
No, but you can't. It can't. Well, that can't work for today. It can't. It can't. How is that going to work for today? Because if the effects are going to be bad and it's just going to be people talking and stuff, that they
don't have
Doctor
to be
Who
Disney level, because they look
I know
diabolical.
I know, mate. I listen. I think, right, and I'm probably wrong. I think they're not going to mention it now. They're going to reserve their money for for the big dramas that people are watching, and they're not going to talk about Doctor Who.
That's what
until they need to. That's what I reckon.
Yeah. Okay. Don't know what's next.
Probably
Can't
wrong.
remember.
Okay,
we've done that. Okay,
yeah,
so talk amongst yourselves.
I know you might be right, Z. You might be right. Completely right. I'm just guessing here.
Listen, I mean, get down to a much shorter budget. You use that budget wisely.
Yeah. But have you ever known a producer in TV that's actually used the budget wisely?
No. Yeah, they first have to put half of it in their pocket, and then they may use the other half lively. But, I have some videos from early seasons where, people in real life went around the world looking for old video cassettes, and they've replaced, because the first few seasons, the BBC recorded over those tapes, and the masters don't exist. But people have recreated it using sketches and animation and in audio plays. And what other show have people gone to this ridiculous extent in order to recreate the originals? I can't think of anything. So didn't that guy put like a worldwide bounty? He was willing to pay thousands of pounds for people who had a copy of the, early 63, 64, 65 episodes.
Oh, didn't you have that?
They did the same with the Avengers, the first couple of seasons with Honor Blackman. The BBC recorded over those too. So they're very hard to find. And if you do find it, it's some sort of handmade recreation.
Yeah.
Okay. Have we done with Doctor Who then? Doctor Who
I think
done.
Everybody's done with Doctor Who.
Yes, I've been done with it for a while. But...
Okay.
Everyone but the BBC, apparently.
Okay. Okay. Bit of Star Wars, if I'm considering correct. Okay.
Star Wars.
Mark Hamill says it's time to move on from Jake Skywalker in Star Wars. We never expected it to become a permanent franchise and a part of pop culture like that. But my deal is I had my time. I'm appreciative of that, but I think they should focus on the future and all new characters.
Isn't he in the Rogu film, though?
I don't know, but nobody cares about him anymore. So I don't know why he's like, what does he want now?
Is that facial expression?
Don't know.
Is that facial expression him looking at Daisy Ridley's bum of those pictures you showed earlier?
Yeah.
But you know what? Even though he said a lot of stupid things, and the only memory I've got
Mark
of
Hamill,
Mark
though,
Hamill,
Skywalker.
Yeah. The only memory I've got of Mark Hamill is him smiling at me, writing.
Oh, you've met him,
signature on my book, and really being enthusiastic and telling me that I'm amazing because I like Star Wars, and watch out for the second one. And so I can't. I don't know who this guy
like
is
as well. A lot of people are like that.
Times change, and now he's charging £700 for a signed photo.
Yeah, 800. Oh, it's $800. Yeah, you know what? TDS has wrecked a lot of these people's brains to the point where they're just not recognizable from who they used to be. and how they used to treat their fans.
Yeah.
I'm shocked he came back to X. I thought he was leaving permanently for Blue Sky.
A lot of people have come back from Blue Sky, haven't they?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a problem over there that I can't say on YouTube, but
there are a lot of people exchanging PDF files.
Yes, it's a Jimmy Savile kind of
PDF.
place.
Now then.
I've got a Blue Sky
But listen,
account.
I will go bragging about it.
I have. I have.
I think in a way, Star Wars is always going to be somewhat the heart and soul of the trio Han, Luke, and Leia. There's just without that, you just get a weird science universe that doesn't obey the laws of physics. It was those three that created the joy and the adventure and the love that gave this franchise its legs.
Well,
without them, I don't think there is Star Wars.
I'll keep saying this. They have not given us Star Wars yet. Rogue One was all right, but everything else is not Star Wars.
No,
Star
Andor
Wars
was okay. No, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, Andor was part of Rogue One, so if you don't think Rogue One was Star Wars, you're not going to think
Ironically,
Andor.
66 people watching this as we're talking.
But you know, Star Wars is again. I would say this swashbuckling, high adventure with a lot of fun and a lot of pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
And they haven't to this day given us that. They haven't. Even when you watch the Rey Skywalker ones, it's full of rubbish. It's full of talking. It's full of stupid plots. It really is dumb. So I don't know. I think, I don't know if Star Wars could be saved, to tell you the truth. I'm just getting tired of all these IPs that getting wrecked.
Well, really, when you think about it, it makes sense, right? When Star Wars came out, people knew that you had to work at things. If you wanted to do karate, you had to study it for years. You had to work to get what you want. But in the participation trophy generation, people expected things to be given to them. And that is reflected in the way that Rey got her Jedi powers. She didn't have to train. She didn't have to work.
She stole everything.
Boom. Exactly. And that reflects the audience.
If it wasn't nailed down, it's gone. Not Brian Wrenched. I still love Hamill. A few years being a grump old twat and making an uber shit movie doesn't negate 40 plus years being a legend in my book. You are correct.
Well, you know, I feel sorry for Mark, really. I mean, nothing to do with his rants and raves on X, because I've never seen any of them. But he was destined for big things, but it just didn't work out for him. You know, he starred in Slipstream and he starred in the Big Red One. And that was about it, really. Nobody really wanted to hire him. I mean, Harrison Ford was who would have thought Harrison Ford was going to be the breakout star when you watched Star Wars? Actually, I did. But Harrison Ford was lucky getting the Indiana Jones gig, wasn't he? And then that just set him right across for stardom, didn't it? So, yeah.
Okay, let's. I think it's more Star Wars. Bear with me. Who saw this? The CIA has revealed to have once secretly ran a Star Wars fan website and used it to communicate with overseas spies. Who saw that?
Wow.
I think that's that's cool. Except, it's the CIA.
Is it true though?
Well, it's the internet, must be.
Well, they were using the game Pokemon Go to map people's personal private spaces. That's true. So this hardly seems a stretch.
Oh dear. Whatever.
Okay, and on whatever.
Oh God.
Rory McCann on taking over from the late Ray Stevenson as Baylan Skoll in Ahsoka Season 2. I think it's the right decision to carry on his storyline, not just cut it off. I hope the fans...
What storyline? Was there a storyline in this thing?
There wasn't. He's going to do his best anyway. Is that Yarp? Is that the Yarp guy? Yarp.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that was Rory. Yarp.
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 I can't even believe they're making a season 2 of this garbage.
Yeah.
Well, they have to, I think, because I think it's going to lead directly into his Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Yeah, the
which
Grogu
I also can't believe
failure.
they're making.
Yeah.
Again, I would say that if you want to bring back Star Wars, you have to retcon the retcon, get rid of all the Disney stuff, and go back to formula and make some new stuff now. All this stuff is just absolute rubbish. All of it connected to Star Wars. It really is. Apart from Rogue One, which I kind of a bit keen on. But yeah, the rest of it's all rubbish, isn't it? Especially the Ray stuff. Absolute nonsense.
I don't mind Andor minus the pacing. Some fan is going to edit those 2 seasons down into 2 or 3 really fantastic movies.
I really did enjoy the last 6 episodes of Andor, but here you go, folks. Romeo, Tango, November, Zulu, Wrenched, Watersport, $2 New Zealand. Recommendation. Here we go, folks. Equals Department Q.
Yes.
British on Netflix.
Yes. But it's a bit woke though. It's got a lot of woman bosses in it. Also, the guy that leads that show, he should have been the next Doctor. That guy. I can't remember his name. But he should have been the next Doctor. He'd be a very different Doctor as well. Because everybody seems to try and copy Tennant or Matt Smith now. But this guy, he's very quiet. He's very you can tell when he walks into the room, he is the cleverest man in the room. So this guy should be the new Doctor, in my opinion.
This was based on a book. This was based on a book series, right? So they already had a good script. All they had to do was ruin it a little bit to put it on TV.
Yeah, it's got really ugly women in it. If you see the trailer,
no.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Seriously, it's a thing now, isn't it, to put ugly women in TV shows?
I've been burgled, which is never nice. Wrenched will spot. Girl boss Roules. Yeah. Okay, shall we?
Jurassic Park.
New poster for Gareth Edwards, Jurassic World Rebirth. July 2nd, everybody. It's a month today.
You know what, right? The effects are going to be really... No, well, they're not actually.
Not bad. Some do look pretty good.
I hope Gareth Edwards gives us an enjoyable movie. Because I do rate him. I think he's a good filmmaker. I just think he needs to concentrate on scripts more so than the effects. But anyway.
From an artistic standpoint, this is a terrible movie poster.
It is. It's awful.
It's not
but they want to push the girl boss, don't they? So that's why LA is
it's ScarJo, so we can forgive him probably.
It's
but ScarJo looks like a boy. You know what I mean?
It's more reflective of contract negotiations, art, or reality. The dinosaur should be the star of this movie. This doesn't say anything. Yeah,
the alien dinosaur, you mean?
Yes.
Look, as a man and as men, we deserve to look at a good-looking woman on screen, just like they can see Chris Helmsworth with his muscles. We want to see girls with the right bumps and looking beautiful. What's wrong with that? Why is that so bad now? I don't understand.
That's why.
Oh my God! I just looked up Department Q. You weren't kidding, Ian.
No, I'm not. I'm not kidding. The guy, what's the guy's name? He should play the next Doctor, in my opinion. He's going to be cheap, and also he's doing TV shows and he's British. The guy that's in Department Q. Who's the guy? Can't remember his name.
Don't know.
Matthew
Good.
Yeah, he should. I mean, he's a great actor. They put a lot of grey in his hair for Department Q and stuff like that, but he isn't that grey. They make, because basically the character, I don't know, maybe he's a drunk or something, or maybe his wife left him. There's always got to be something with the male characters now, especially if they're white. They've got to be losers, right? So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's next.
What's this? Total Recall.
Was released 35 years ago today. Well, yesterday now. The second most expensive film ever made at the time, and among the most popular films of both Paul Verhoeven and Arnie. Yeah.
So if you just looked up the picture of Department Q, if Total Recall was remade again, that girl with the red hair would be Arnie's wife. So there you go. Sharon Stone's gorgeous though in this film. Absolutely
pretty good, isn't
bloody
she?
gorgeous. Yeah.
Consider this a divorce.
Oh, that is the best Arnie line ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, just consider this a divorce.
I'll tell you the
love
second
it. I
best
love it.
line
I
in
love
it.
it. I love it.
The second best line is, "You think this is me?"
I
Yes,
was
it
just
is."
thinking that. Yes, it is.
It is.
I might need to watch this week. I've not
Yeah,
seen
so
Total
funny.
Recall in a long
Such
time.
a great film.
You made me wish I had 3 hands.
I
got
remember they
5
made
children to feed. Sorry.
they made a big deal about Sharon Stone doing her own stunts and fighting and that, and
Yeah.
nobody has that dedication anymore.
And they talk about diversity. The stupid people say diversity didn't exist in days. Of course it did. Look at who Arnie ended up with.
Yeah, this
end.
movie was
Yeah.
diverse as hell.
Yeah.
It's got
So
Ronnie Cox as
stupid.
well. Here you go. Understatement of the day. Dommy Willspot. Nice movie.
Indeed.
Man, Ronnie Cox is always a win. I'm still getting over the fact he played a good guy in Beverly Hills Cop.
Mike Ironside.
Just so
Yep.
See you at the party, Richter.
In fact, it was Paul Verhoeven that actually took him down that avenue, wasn't it? As a bad guy, and he got a lot of roles playing.
yeah.
'Cause he used to do a sitcom, doesn't he? Didn't he used to do a sitcom in America before he was in Beverly Hills Cop? So yeah.
Yeah, he has great presence and gravitas. He makes a great bad guy.
Um,
And Michael Ironside, ever since
Oh,
Scanners,
so
he's
good.
always scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Rob Bottin doing the special effects.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's part of the Verhoeven trinity, isn't it? This.
It is, and Paul Verhoeven, he's a very talented director, but he did push the envelope out when it came to sexuality, right out there. He really did,
And violence.
and violence. Yeah.
Oh, it was just so great. They don't make film. Why don't they make films like this anymore?
Because we got gatekeepers.
Because
that
you
don't
wish
want-
it.
Nobody's willing to take risks anymore, like the ones
Oh.
that they took there.
Yeah.
It happened when the corporations started noticing fandom and decided that they were going to get in on the action, really.
Mm.
Mm.
And
And
all of
making
a
all
sudden,
their casting choices based on their followings on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's a recent thing. But you can tell when the corporate takeover of Comic-Con started, in the late 80s. It was never the same after that.
Yeah. And they showed you behind the scenes, the train that's in Mars, and that whole set was built, a miniature set to build for that sequence where the train was moving. It was huge. It was like a football field or something, half a football field when they built that set.
Wow.
Manuel Grell wrench.
Yeah.
Gul Dukat was Mark Alamo.
Mark Alamo. Yeah, the neck, as he was
Yeah.
known. Yep.
There we go.
See the party Richter. Yeah. Brilliant
Oh,
stuff.
such a great
Brilliant.
film.
Oh yeah, I need
might
to
be-
watch this
is.
one.
I need
we,
to watch it this week.
I picked up the 4K
Okay,
Blu-ray of RoboCop. I watched that with my son a couple nights ago. So yeah, I need to see if I can get the 4K of this.
Also,
thing.
it's got a great score by Jerry Goldsmith.
Yeah.
in this film, absolutely brilliant score. Fantastic.
Johnny Cabs. Do you remember Johnny Cabs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really great score.
Oh,
One of,
what a movie.
have you ever seen the sets from New York from the movie Fifth Element?
Yes, I have.
That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's like 35 feet high, filled out a whole warehouse, this enormous miniature set of a futuristic New York cityscape. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That's the thing, you see. People were skilled at building models, and now you
Yeah.
don't even need that now because you've got a computer.
Well,
you can build it now. It's crazy.
yeah,
right?
but it's not the same, and we're rapidly losing the skills to do those traditional arts.
That is true. That's
People
very
don't
true.
know how to do it anymore.
Okay. Let's move on then.
Oh,
A Jaws 50th anniversary documentary releases July 11th on Disney Plus And Hulu, the documentary includes exclusive new info about the film from Steven Spielberg and the original cast, plus interviews with Jordan Peele, Guillermo del Toro, and George Lucas.
What more can they add, though, that the other documentaries haven't said? I mean,
Don't know.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, we only had the 40th, what is it, 10 years ago?
So it's the 50th.
That's not going to stop me watching it.
Yeah. No, I'll watch it. I'm a huge fan of Jaws.
I think the movie's getting re-released in August. Everybody.
Yeah.
I thought that said Jaws 50. I was thinking, wow, that's a lot of sequels.
Jaws 5 Oats in Hawaii. See what
but do you know? As I said, Jaws is in my top 10 of great movies of all time.
Oh,
it's such a great
fantastic film. And one of the great parts about it is the three characters from three different backgrounds, the three men, and they all sit there and they bond and they tell each other, who they are and what their lives are like, and they all start to see each other differently through that. And that's not even like the biggest focus of the film, but you actually get to know those characters in those scenes. They don't spend time doing that in movies anymore. They're all just tropes. They're all just, stereotypes, and that's it.
Me as a director personally, I just love the way this film is directed. It's so old school direction, and I'm not talking about that bit where they'll pull in and zoom out, because that's been done to death. But things like when he wakes up in the morning and his head comes into frame and his wife asks him, is this summer? And he comes out, that famous line, they're in the ad not too far from the car. That's all done in one shot. It's a pretty amazing shot, so that's what I'm saying. It's really incredibly well directed, this film. Yeah.
It's a great film.
Yeah, Robert Shaw was so incredible. I still remember he says, there once was a girl named Trinity. For 13 years, she kept her virginity.
Yeah.
Not a bad record for this vicinity.
I saw The Shark Isn't Working, which was a play, and Robert Shaw's son played Robert Shaw in that play. And basically the play is about what they did when they were stuck on the island, not shooting because the shark wouldn't work. And it's about the three of them trying to get on, but they couldn't get on. Apparently it's based on a true story that happened. According to the play, the guy who played Quint was really picking on Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah,
he did not like the idea that he was what do you call that kind of acting? The method. Yeah, he thought it was absolute bollocks. Yeah, so they really didn't like each other. So there you go. So yeah, it's a good play if you ever get a chance to see it. Fantastic.
First time I saw Jaws, the local working men's club had a movie night where they'd hire the film and show it on literally on the projector in the working men's club. They allowed anybody in, so I was probably about 9 or 10. It was £1 to get in, and watching Jaws, fucking hell. The bit where Quint slides down into the and the leg as well. The leg what gets bitten off. Oh.
It was an A though. That's the thing. The film when it was released, when it was released, it was an A. That means kids can go and see it. And I remember watching it as a kid, terrified. In fact, I had my legs on my chair, right, all the way through that movie. I didn't want to put my legs down. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my god, the diver jump scare me every single time.
It's amazing.
Yeah, this was the movie that led Spielberg to create the PG-13 rating.
Wasn't that was a reshoot as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it was
eyeball thing. The head.
Yeah, it was. But
just to get that extra jump.
Also, Hollywood hated Spielberg because he had too much success, and he didn't even get nominated for an Oscar for this film. He thought he was going to get nominated because I don't know if you look on YouTube. There's this bit where him and his friends are in the living room, and they're waiting to hear the announcements. And he was so sure he was going to get an announcement that he was nominated for Best Director. He didn't get it though. He was so disappointed. Look it up on YouTube; you'll find it.
Yeah, so it makes sense though. They didn't want to give him an Oscar for a while. A lot of times they're jealous of actually good directors. That's why that whole Hollywood system with all those awards, a lot of times is a crock of shit anyways.
It is. Really is.
Just don't blink, Spielberg says, for the criticisms. He said that to Robert Rodriguez, didn't he? Robert Rodriguez is like, what do you do when all these people are slagging you off? And he's like, don't blink. Just keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what's next. Here we go then, folks.
MobLand. See it.
I didn't watch it, so if
no spoilers.
No spoilers, yeah.
Finale today, folks, or yesterday now, of MobLand.
Yep.
Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it either.
I watched it.
Well, I think it's important to note that
it was
there's
very
going
good.
to be a season 2. So,
okay.
It was initially, from what I've read, it was always planned out to be a 20-episode story.
Yeah, I think most TV things now on streaming, it gets commissioned for effectively one season, 20 episodes, but they split it.
But if it's such a huge success, they could probably bring it back anyway, wouldn't they?
It's been amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would hate to see this go on longer than it's supposed to, because the quality and the amazing storytelling and the acting, I want to see this end when it should end.
There you go, Slide Jester, Wrench, my friend. I'm watching the finale as soon as this stream is done. Oh.
So I'm going to be the unpopular one then.
See you, Prof. Goodbye.
Yeah. I thought this last episode ruined a bunch of the show for me.
Really?
It took me completely out of it as far as just suspension of disbelief. I'm not going to spoil it.
I'm going to agree. I think there was a little bit too much going on.
They pushed it too far.
Yeah.
They were responsible for setting up all of these dominoes that all fell perfectly in exactly the right order and doing it was too far for me. It was a step too far. There were so many different players in this, and to say, oh, yep, it's exactly what we did. We set it up this way. And it's like, no, that doesn't work. There were just way too many things that would have to happen exactly the way that they did for that to play out. And that that did not work for me at all. Now, I will say, from start to finish, great performances from Pierce Brosnan, from Helen Mirren. Everybody in this was putting in the work and doing a great job. There were some fantastic performances here. Overall, I did enjoy the whole show, but they took the whole, just the suspension of disbelief that was required to finish up the end of that last episode. What you're being told was just a step too far for me.
I haven't had time to sort of ruminate on the whole thing, and I've been known to sort of change my opinion after a couple of days. I just know the experience of watching the finale was really, really good for me.
Oh yeah, I will say it was still very good, folks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I may end up coming around more to Professor R2
in
a couple of days.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot going on, and I thought, okay, this is a lot going on. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, it usually takes me a couple of days to start seeing small cracks.
Okay, I will say, folks, now if you've not watched MobLand, now is the time to do the 7-day trial of Paramount. Binge watch it. You will
very enjoyable.
You will not be disappointed. Tom Hardy was fantastic. In fact, they all were. Yeah, they all were. It was just a great series. Some decent TV. There you go. And on that bombshell, please like, share, subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
That is it, folks. Bonus.
What happened to her face?
Old age, mate. Chat, you are wonderful. Thank you for the interaction, the super chats, and turning up for the bonus stream. Pretty good numbers considering. So, chat, you are the best. We will see you next time. Let me get the guests up. Well, it's bedtime, isn't it? 1:30.
It is. Definitely.
Professor R2, thank you, my friend.
Cheers, Brune.
It's the Phobos. Cheers, pal.
Cheers. Thanks. Have a blast. Thank you. Thank you very much, chat. You are epic.
Great to have him on the bonus stream. Z3PO. Cheers,
Oh, you know how much I love a bonus hole.
We know, mate. We know. Mega Geek, cheers in.
No worries.
Price of Reason. He's muted.
Thank you very much.
Wait, how did I get on mute? I don't know.
Thank you. I was just making a video, you know. Cheers, Price.
Hey, cheers, man. Thanks for having me.
That is it, folks.
Yep. Ta-da, everybody.
Is Trev on tomorrow? I think Trev's on tomorrow. Beast up. Don't know. We're back Wednesday doing something.
Good luck, everybody.
If we don't see you during the week, everybody, we'll see you next weekend. Have a great week, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, press the thumbs up, leave a comment, folks. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Taddy bye.